In this video, we are going to take a look at collector called as collecting and then. As the method suggests, we will be collecting the data into some form of collector and then apply some operation to it. Let us take a look at the Java documentation. It says that adapts a collector to perform additional finishing transformation. For example, one could adapt toList collector to always produce an immutable list with people.stream.collect collecting and then to list collections : unmodifiable list. This means that the data will be first collected into list and then as a finisher function it will be returned as part of unmodifiable list. Take a look at the parameters. One parameter is collector, another parameter is a finisher, and the result type of collector will be input to function finisher and the result type is RR. And this RR itself is a result type of the collector collecting and then. And if you see this finisher function over here, what it does is it takes the collector, for example, to list. So it will complete collecting the data into list and then apply the finisher function, which will be collections : unmodifiable list. So that is it on collecting and then. Now let us take a look at several different examples that I've written. The first example that you already know. What we do is we have a data set, we are streaming to a database, filtering some transaction based on filtration criteria, and collecting using collecting and then collector. We'll collect the data into toList method first, and then translate that toList method that returns array list into unmodifiable list. So this particular result will be unmodifiable list. Second is translating toList method into Google Guava list. So in this method, what we can do is immutable list class has a static factory called as copy of method, which accepts collection. So if we go back over here, you can collect the data into array list using toList and then return an immutable list using immutable list : copy of as a finisher function. Same thing can be applied to set. Over here, we are collecting the data using collecting and then collector into set first and then returning an unmodifiable set of collections class. And in the second method over here, we are collecting the data using toSet method and then transforming that hasSet class that is written using toSet into immutable set of Google implementation. Now let us take a look at collecting and then using toCollection method. In toCollection method, we can provide any form of collection implementation as a supplier or a supplier factory, and that particular collection will be the return type. But now what we are trying to do is we are doing collecting and then collecting into a collection called as tree set, and now I want to return it as part of immutable sorted set. So now what will happen is once you collect the data into tree set, this tree set will go into immutable sorted sets copy of sorted method, static factory method, and it will return a new immutable sorted set which implements sorted set interface. Let us take a look at map implementation. Collectors start collecting and then collectors start to map and translating this map into an unmodifiable map. Then if you want to translate this same thing into Google Guava map, you can do that using collectors.toMap and immutable map : copy of. And same thing if you want to achieve for Google Guava sorted map, you can do it using collectors.toMap, collect the data into the map, and then use immutable sorted map : copy of sorted. So this is how you can collect the data into any collection using collecting and then. But collecting and then accepts collector, so you can do much more than that. And we will see this in the upcoming videos on how to use it in a different way. But here is the sneak peek where what we are doing is we are getting the invoice total of all the transactions that happened in United States, and we are averaging all the invoice total. We are filtering all the US transactions, getting their invoice and invoice total, which means that we are adding all the invoices divided by number of invoices. So what is the average amount of transaction that took place in US country? And if you run this method, we will see an output over here. US $25, US $20. So 20 plus 25 is 45. Divided by 2 is 22.5. So that is how you can use. This is averaging long collector, and we will take a look at later. But you have to understand the fact is you can compose data using different kind of collectors, not just get the data into some collection type like list, set, map. It is much more than that, and we will see this in upcoming videos. Thank you.